Welcome back to I have been forced to create this content against my will because I'm a product of capitalism. This is a show where I talk about a thing I've done in the past creatively. Not all of them were successful. In fact, the vast majority were not successful, but you know what? I'm consistently good at trying. Yeah? I want to talk about a really interesting thing, which I don't think has had as many views as it should have because it's weird. A few years back, I had an endorsement deal with Quartz Guitars. This is a video of a photo shoot that we put together. When I say we, this was an idea between me and my partner and a wonderful photographer and cinematographer called Tom Anderson. Tom will make occasional appearances throughout this series. He did the photo shoot for Let's Play and a lot of early Conversation Hat and early Stab Panda stuff. If there's photos of me, Ben and Sai from like 10 years ago, it's probably a photo by Tom Anderson. So I wanted to buy an 8-string guitar. 8-string guitars are used in metal. I bought it because I was like, there's going to be some really good like funk applications or like jazz applications of an 8-string guitar. I still believe that. Haven't found them. But I do enjoy playing the 8-string very occasionally. What I usually use it for really is if I'm writing big, heavy riffs, but like held chords or like really short patterns. On guitar, I'll use the 8-string to add an octave lower, and it thickens it out in a really satisfying way. Sort of bridges like a nice baritone gap between the bass and the guitar. Anyway, part of what the value that I add when I'm involved with a brand is that I do exist online. Sorry, I should specify. So I got this endorsement deal with Corp because I'm a music educator. At the time, especially, I was teaching a lot of guitar. I was embedded in a couple schools. So I was talking to people who would quite often want to buy guitars. So they made a bit of money through me, and I sold Cork guitars on their behalf because it's a brand that I still really believe in, and I think if you're going to spend more than £100 on your starter guitar, buy a Cork because you'll get at that lower end really, really good value for money. I think their guitars overall are good, but I think their slightly more affordable guitars are really excellent. You could spend £600 on like a Squire, or you could spend £300 on a Cork, and you'll have the same quality of guitar, basically. That's why I had the endorsement with Court. The value that I added was that I was also a person that was creating stuff for the internet. You know, I wasn't like, certainly not famous by any accounts, but I was visible, and to a certain small community of musicians, you know, somewhat of an authority figure. And actually, at the time, I was uploading much more stuff than I am now. So we were thinking, okay, let's have a photo shoot. Let's buy an 8-string guitar. If I'm going to go to the hassle of buying this thing, let's do a photo shoot. But actually, because it's an excuse for me to get some headshots as well, I needed to get those updated. But the thing is, like, I don't want to do a metal photo shoot because that's not me. I do occasionally write heavy stuff, but it's not like my overall vibe. My overall vibe is being subversive and chaotic and difficult. That's my overall vibe. So actually, it was my partner that suggested, well, let's do a photo shoot that reflects that. So what are some things that are powerfully unmetal? So we set up, we got some footage of me playing, and we were like, a tea party. Let's do a tea party. I was like, I will absolutely do a tea party with my 8-string guitar on one condition. I want to be able to rack up the place with my guitar. And we did. and it was a lot of fun. And the photos, I think, are wonderful. I'm also quite fond of the footage. The guitar is fine because I think some people saw this and are like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? That's a great way to ruin a guitar." That's we're talking about cakes, flimsy cakes, and paper. This was not a robust system of stacked china that I was destroying. It is paper. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. If your guitar can't handle paper and muffins, and indeed a slightly more robust Battenberg, probably don't buy that guitar. Anyway, that's the story of 8-string guitar versus Posh Cakes. I'm really happy with the results. We got some great footage that I have definitely used too much. And I'm rather fond of the photos as well. Tom Anderson did a wonderful job, which I knew he would. That's everything. All right. Cakes. Lovely cakes.